Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to our first Sapphire Color 247 camera training. Thank you for joining us today. The same webinar will be held next Friday for the West Coast at 10 a.m. PST. We will be going over some advantages and applications of Sapphire Color 247 cameras, as well as some of its smart functions. Today's presenter is Edwin, and the presentation will last around 40 minutes. We will open for Q&A at the end. Please note that all the audience will be muted. If you have any questions at any time during the presentation, you can type them into the Q&A box instead of the chat. We will be sure to answer as many questions as we can during the session at the end. And for registered LTS partners who's attending our webinar, there will be a chance to win a $50 gift card. The winners will be announced later, and there will also be copies of today's webinar as well as the presentation for registered partners. If you are not yet a LTS registered partner and would like to become one, you can do so at ltssecurityinc.com and sign up. Benefits include access to all our webinars and presentations, as well as future webinar information. With all that being said, we'll start the presentation now. I will pass off the mic to Edwin.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna be going over just like over the color cameras that we currently have in our stock. Okay. So for traditional IR, so the lack of images. So when you have a traditional camera, they usually tend to have just a standard IR. So you'll only see like a black and white image. You won't see true colors, so you won't be able to determine what kind of color the car is or what type of color the person is wearing, like, you know, shirt wise, pant wise. So that's your traditional IR, and those are some of the challenges. Okay. So here's a short video that will show you what a night color camera over IR. Okay, so as you can see there, it's at night. You could clearly see the full color over to the right hand side. So when a person's walking, you can see he's wearing a white shirt with blue jeans. Okay, so those are your standard two images from IR to color. Okay. Now, this particular camera has a LED setup, okay? And some of our cameras also have a perimeter protection setup. Okay, so that was just a quick overview on the two different types, okay? So, and again, so here we go. So you have your traditional IR with full color. So you can see on the full color, you'll be able to see everything in full color, be able to describe what's going on, what colors they have, what color car it is, and so on, as well as this. Okay, so there's your whole like from the IR over to a colored camera. So here are some technical advantages on the color camera. Okay, so the first thing is the sensor has improved over 30%. So the pixels have improved on these cameras. Okay, your ISP also has improved, so that way you get a much like clearer picture with a lot less noise within the camera. Okay, so those are the two things that have improved within the camera. Okay, as far as the image quality, as you can see there, the IRs on the left-hand side, all black, and if there is a car in front, the reflection on the license plate will bounce back because of the IR camera. Now over to the right-hand side where there is a colored camera, and again, same setup, if there is a car in front of it, the reflection won't come back from the plate itself because the IRs are not, there's no IR in the camera itself. Okay, so those are some advantages over your traditional IR and the night color camera. Okay, so here's a quick video, okay, that Now there's two cameras here. Excuse me. One's a night color, the other's IR, same setup, same location, everything. Now it is raining, and as you can see, the IR is being reflected from the raindrops. Okay, as in the full color, you don't see the raindrops. You can't even tell if it's raining. Okay, so those are the advantages over a night color camera and a camera that has IR. Okay, so all right, and here's a picture comparing a night color camera over our competitors. Okay? So our Sapphire night color camera, as you can see, the grass is much more brighter. Right? You see the actual that the grass is green. Over to the right hand side there, it's kind of dull, right? So that's the difference between the Sapphire and the competitor's night color camera. Okay, as you can see, that ours is just much brighter. The picture quality is a lot better as well. All right, so here are some applications that you could put these cameras in. Okay, so obviously you'd be able to put it. Whoa, sorry. Obviously you'd be able to put it in a residential area. Okay, that way you'd be able to see, the vehicles. Like say, like who's in parking. If there's someone parking in your house, you'd be able to see what color the car is and what color clothes they're wearing and things like that. The parking area. Okay. Again, so between a traditional and a night color, you'd be able to see which vehicles come into a parking area, what color it was, if it's red, if it's blue or black, or whatever color the vehicle might be, you'll be able to determine the actual color of the vehicle that came into the park. Okay. For the urban streets, okay, again, so if you have shops, you could put these around shops. You'd be able to see, who parked in the shop, who came in and out of the shop, what clothes they were wearing. So it's a big advantage over the IR. Okay, and you got cinemas and casinos. So when it comes to cinemas, obviously everything's all dark. But with the light being reflected from the screen itself, if you have a night color camera, you'll be able to see pretty much full color within the cinema. Same thing when it comes to casinos. And you have like warehouses, commercial real estates, retail, campuses that you'd be able to pretty much install these type of cameras in. Okay, so here are some additional functions within the cameras. Okay, so we have a night color camera that has SMD, which is Smart Motion Detect, and I'll play a quick video. All right, so okay. So as you can see that the SMD color camera, okay, or so you'd be able to just pretty much turn on the SMD with one button, and then the camera would be able to determine if it's a human or vehicle. You'd be able to select the two different options. Okay. Now here's another video with a Sapphire camera, color camera with SMD on. Okay. So you can see that the vehicles in the backgrounds, there's a white vehicle that just came in. Okay, there's a white vehicle in the parking lot. This person right here is wearing probably a gray jacket, black pants. So you'll be able to see the person, and it actually is detecting that there's a person within the camera itself. And then the vehicle that walked by, um, it actually is it actually detected that particular vehicle um, as a vehicle event. Okay. Now, perimeter protection is very similar to SMD. The only difference with perimeter protection is that you would have to draw lines, and then once you draw that line, you have to determine what type of event that's going to be. If it's be for a human event or a vehicle event, but you will have to draw the lines for perimeter protection. Here's a quick video. Okay, as you can see that the person's going to walk into the, and then it pretty much triggers. Here's a vehicle. Okay, that line got triggered. That means that event was for a vehicle event. So the two difference between SMD and perimeter protection, there's no lines to be drawn under SMD, and perimeter protection, you have to draw the line and then determine that line if it's going to be a human or vehicle, and then you will still get the notifications. Okay, just like SMD. Okay, now here's another like like the whole perimeter protection. Okay, so there's going to be a person walking in. As soon as he crosses the line, that triggers as a human crossing that area. Okay, and again, all those lines that you see there, the blue lines, you will have to draw them, and then select that it's for a human or a vehicle. So that's perimeter, and it's full color as well. All right. Now we're going into the product selector. Okay. Now we have a dome and a bullet type camera. Okay. Now these two cameras do have the white LED. Okay. And they both also have SMD and perimeter protection. Okay. Okay. So now both of these do have the white light. So if there's say there's no like ambient light around, then the white lights will turn on, and then it'll give you that full color as well. Okay. Now this camera here does not have the white lights, so this is no IRs, no white light, but still full color. As long as there's ambient light within the area, the camera will show up as full color as long as it picks up that light. And again, this camera does have SMD and perimeter protection as well. Okay, now we have the HD CVI cameras, and again, so both of these models do have the white light. Okay, so it will give you a full color as long as there's ambient light or that white light turns on, it'll give you that full color coming into the camera itself. Okay, and that does it for our presentation.
Thanks, Edwin. Quick reminder for those that came in late, please enter any questions in the Q&A box. We will get to as many as we can. We'll also do follow-ups after the webinar, and recordings of the webinar will be sent out as well. The Q&A session can begin now.
Hi everyone, this is Victor from LTS. So I'm going to take care of the Q&A section. So I will answer the question one by one. Please put your question in the question box, and then we will answer this in sequence. So do you have a price for these cameras? Well, if you could go to the catalog, you would see all the price.
I see that Kevin asked, do all cameras that say Sapphire have smart motion, smart notifications, such as human and vehicles? So on page 24 of our catalog, all the True Color and SMD IP cameras of Sapphire product line do have such function.
Okay. Andrew said, when does the white LED turn on? And if it does turn on, are there different in instance? Well, the LED of Sapphire night color camera is turned off by default, but you can choose to let the LED turn on automatically when the ambient illumination is under a threshold. So currently you're able to like change the mode on the web interface of the camera or on the NVR, but in a short amount of time, you will be able to do the settings directly from the DMSS.
Right. Nancy asks, do we need a special NVR for such functions to work? The answer is all the Sapphire product lines, NVR, all the NVRs with LTN6 something. So we have one hard drive, 2 hard drive and 4 hard drive variants of those NVRs will be able to support such as smart motion detection as well as night color cameras for you. So you do not need a special NVR for this to work.
Okay, Phillips asked, can you set up LED light to turn on or turn off? Well, because this LED is for illumination, right? So you can set up the mode. Like for example, you want the LED to be turned on when the ambient light is under a threshold. You want it to be turned on automatically, then you change the mode on the web interface. Or if you don't want the LED at all, then you could change the mode to turn off the LED at all. So the LED will keep turning off. As the LED is turned off by default. So if you want the LED to be turned on when the ambient light is really low, then you go to the web interface, you change the mode, and then the LED can be turned on.
David and Jose asked a similar question. David asked, are they compatible with other DVRs? Jose asked, does this camera need a special NVR or DVR, or can we use whatever? So with DVRs for the night color, so you are able to get a crystal clear colored footage at nighttime, even record on a DVR. However, the advanced functionalities like smart motion detection or perimeter protection will not be available for you to search through a DVR. So I would recommend go with NVR if you want to have these advanced AI functionalities.
Well, we Draper, I'm sorry if I make mistake about your name. Ask, can you use the LED light for motion also? The answer is no, because this is a night color camera. We have another model which is active deterrence camera. So you can use the LED flashlight to like scare the intruders. But that is another category. For night color camera, you are not able to use the LED to do that.
Gordon asks, any extraordinary impact on bandwidth when using as a part of a network? So the night color feature has no significant impact on the bandwidth at all. On the bandwidth portion is mainly on the H.265 or H.264 that you choose, and also you can choose to change the bitrate consumption of the camera itself. when comparing all the other parameters the same with color or without color, we do not see a significant impact on the bandwidth.
Juan Crespo asked, when this product coming in 2.8 millimeter lens? Well, currently, I'm talking about the IP night color. The bullet and the turret already have 2.8 millimeter lens. The dome and the CVI night color only have 3.6, but we are expecting to complete all the product line in the next few months. So please be patient, and yeah. Andrew Taylor said, can the LED be triggered by event? The answer is no.
Perry asks, do Sapphire camera work with LTS Platinum NVRs? We suggest to our installers to keep the same product line. So Sapphire cameras with Sapphire NVRs and Platinum cameras with Platinum NVRs. However, if you have to mix and match, in most cases, you should work. However, I would always suggest to go with the same product line instead of mix and match.
I see many customers asking, can the LED turn on with motions? And well, the answer is no. You cannot turn on the LED by motion. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about another category of cameras, which is active deterrence. So when like for example a person come in, the LED light can be used as as some kind of siren, right? And this is another category. So we're the camera that we are showcasing today is night color camera, so it is not capable of doing that. So I see 3 and 4 customers are asking the similar questions. So the answer is no. And David asked, do they have it 300? Do they have it in 360 views? No, the answer is no. I know you are talking about the fisheye, but there's no night color fisheye temporarily. So yeah.
They'll ask, is trying to find the Sapphire offerings. So if you go to our catalog, you should be able to find all the Sapphire product line, starting from page 23 all the way to our catalog page 28. So we have NVRs and IP cameras, followed by DVRs and CVI cameras.
Okay, Reynold Barlow, sorry, what MP is these cameras available in 4 megapixel or 5 megapixel? Well, there are different categories, right? I'm talking about the IP. All the IP night color is 4 megapixel. And if you are searching for CVI, then we have a 5 megapixel version or a 2 megapixel version.
Lawrence asked, is the webinar recorded and will sent to us to review? Yes, it will. We do record all the webinars that we have in the past couple of weeks already in the same Sapphire series. And then we'll send not only the video recording of the webinar itself, but also a list and answers of the questions for you guys to review as well.
Okay. Sorry, Vincent asked, how easy is the setup? Any specific software to detect Sapphire camera over the network? Well, it depends on how do you want to install your cameras. For example, if you put your camera directly towards the PoE port on your NVR or the port of your DVR, then you don't need any software. You just do all the settings in your NVR or DVR local. It would be good. Well, if like for example, if you want to just go to the web interface of the camera, there's a tool called a config tool. So you should be able to download the tool directly from the LTS website, and you are able to like detect the IP address of the specific camera, and then you can log into the camera. If you're asking for a VMS from the PC side, we have a VMS called Smart PSS. You also able to download the package, I mean the installation package from the official website of LTS, and this is how you control the camera from your PC. And if you're asking for a software or app to connect with the camera directly from your cell phone, then our software is called DMSS, and there's a webinar talking about this specific cell phone app. So you should be able to see it directly from our YouTube channel or the website is introducing that software. So yeah.
Roger asked two questions. One is, what's lifetime of the LED lights on the camera? He's wondering, do they last longer if left on or switched on and off? Those LED lights are designed to be able to handle, keep switching on and off, and they're very durable and robust. So even in our RMA department, I mean, very rarely do we see any of the LED light issues. They're so you don't need to worry about that. And he also asked, why are they not in varifocal? So next step, we'll have varifocal cameras, but not at this moment.
Okay. Sorry. Hi. Sorry. Vincent asked, on with support. Yes, on with support.
Lawrence was asking where we can download the catalog. If you don't have access to the catalog, please kindly reach out to your sales representative here in LTS, and then we'll be more than happy to help you guys out. We also have V asked, are they available in black or dark gray? Currently, we do not have such options. However, when we have, we'll have more and more options coming in the future down the pipeline. Okay, same as varifocal, which was asked earlier. And by the way, guys, if you typed in your question in the chat, please go ahead and use the question and answer tab, because there's a lot of question, even just in the question and answer tab, we will not have time to go through the chat and find your questions, okay? So if you have your questions in the chat, please kindly type in the question and answer tab. Thank you.
Okay, Phillips asked, does it come with microphone? So we have many options, right? All the CVI night color has a built-in microphone. And in terms of IP, the turret has a built-in microphone, and the bullet and dome has audio and alarm port. So if you need microphones, you would have to like put an external microphone on the cameras. Thank you.
David asked, does IP camera work over Cat5e, or do they require anything like Cat6 or Cat6a? Cat5e will work just fine. Obviously, you can choose to use Cat6, but Cat5e will work just fine.
Why CVI Sapphire Mac work only on 4 megapixel, not in 5 megapixel? I'm confused. Sorry, this question is asked by Juan Crispo. I'm confused because we do not offer 4 megapixel CVI. So you only have 2 megapixel CVI and 5 megapixel CVI night color, and both models have the built-in mic. I'm going to ask other. Are you using a Sapphire DVR? So if you're using another brand DVR, then there's a possibility that it will not support the audio over coax from Sapphire CVI. So yeah.
Ron was asking, are they available for sale right now? Yes, absolutely. Please reach out to your sales representative, and we do have those cameras in stock and ready to sell.
Hackham, sorry, 10, sorry, ask how much power do these cameras use at night? Well, you can look into the data sheet. All the figures is there. As far as I remember, it is 6.6 watts maximum. So yeah, it should be able to. You should be able to plug into your PoE with confidence.
Edward is asking, are these functions you just mentioned, are they a function of the camera or a function on the DVR and VR? So the night color cameras, they're mainly a feature from the camera side. So the stream camera providing to the NVR is already bright and colorful. Indeed, we do have camera options for both coax and PoE. So the CVI cameras, we do have night color options, and IP cameras, we do have night color options that support PoE. At the present time, are there any development on thermal cameras? Thermal cameras, not yet for the Sapphire product line. We do have thermal cameras in the Platinum product line that has two imagers, one visible light, one thermal imager. Is Sapphire function filtered or a function of a newer type IR? It's not using infrared anymore. So all the night color cameras are using visible light, despite the fact that at the nighttime, the visible lights are very, there's not much for the camera to work with, but with our powerful sensor and our imager, we're able to provide a crystal clear, colorful image.
Okay, Juan said CVI Sapphire 5 megapixel DVR Sapphire. Yeah, if you're using the Sapphire DVR, then could you maybe go reach out to the tech support of your local branch, and they should look into the problem, and they are able to solve the problem. Thank you.
Felipe and Michael were asking either about 4K night color options and varifocal options, both of which will come out. However, we do not have estimated delivery time. It will be in our pipeline, and please stay tuned for our marketing department as well as our social media for more information on those when they come out.
So Louis asked, is this camera are available for license plate read? Well, you're talking about another category of cameras. We do have license plate recognition cameras, both as Sapphire and Platinum, but unfortunately they are not night color, and these night color cameras do not have capability of read license plate.
V was asking about the warranty on those cameras. So for our Sapphire product line, it's the same as our Platinum product line. It's going to be 3 years warranty and 30 days money back.
Okay, Edwin asked, can you compare Sapphire to the former Starlight? Well, we have Starlight Sapphire cameras and night color Sapphire cameras as well. So basically, the night color and Starlight, the difference between the night color and Starlight is, well, the Starlight cameras can work in a very low ambient illumination, but it cannot work in an absolute dark. When the ambient illumination is really, really low, it will switch to infrared. So the image you will be see is totally black and white. But the Sapphire night color camera will not switch to IR, so you will always see the colorful image. So this is the difference.
Rona was asking about the power consumption. So the power consumption of those night color cameras are not significantly higher, or if any, higher than the other, say, Starlight IP cameras, for example. So you can just plug into the conventional PoE switch, and then you don't need to worry about it. If you want to use a regular 9-port or 6-port power supply, as long as you have like 1 amp per channel, or even like 0.8 amp or something, you should be fine with these.
Do they come in, sorry, David asked, do they come in multi-view system? Temporarily, no. There is a multi-view, like actually a dual lens camera in Sapphire product line, but unfortunately that is a 2 megapixel Starlight cameras, not a night color cameras.
Roger is asking for license plate cameras. Please go ahead and reach out to your sales representative. We do have multiple license plate camera available for you guys. And then if you can, talk in detail in terms of your project and exactly need, then our sales representative and also our project group will be able to help assist you better than hearing the webinar. Ronald also asked, are they available in Phantom series? In Phantom series, we also have a color 247 and night color cameras. So both options are great. You can't go wrong with either.
David asked how difficult it is to add say Honeywell or other MVR. Well, our Sapphire night color IPC support ONVIF. So also the night color feature wouldn't be influenced by the ONVIF. So you just put it in the Honeywell MVR and it will do its work.
Ken is asking which Sapphire will be closest to our Platinum product, the 3342, which is our a great camera, and then they're trying to use LTN 8716. So I would, like I mentioned earlier, I would suggest, if you're installing a Platinum MVR with Platinum cameras, just keep it that way. Don't mix and match. If you're gonna go with Sapphire product line, say a Sapphire IP camera, then go with a Sapphire MVR. So this will make your life much easier.
Alice is asking, can we export a data report for people counting? Where can I find? Well, this is something I want to mention. All the IP night color camera could do people counting, queue management, and the flow control. Those data can be checked directly from the MVR. So if you want to export the reports, then you probably need our DSS platform, which is another topic. So if you are interested in this topic, then could you reach out to our TS and then we can do the question answering case by case.
Felipe is asking that he installed one of these night color camera in a warehouse, but it's too dark that Felipe would like to turn on the LED lights. So to turn on the LED lights, you can either go with the web interface of the camera itself, and then you can turn on the LED lights there. And shortly, when we have the new version of or new update of the DMSS app, you should be able to turn on and off the LED light from the app. So currently, just go with the web interface, and then shortly you should be able to do the same on the app as well.
Okay, David asked, dogs, they also come in 360 views. Sorry, I don't really understand what do you mean by dogs. Well, in our SMD functions, it is it could filter out the dog motion, and the 360 views. No, our night color camera is not a fisheye camera. It cannot do the 360 views.
We'll keep this Q&A section a little bit longer. So if you guys have any more questions, please go ahead and ask in here. And the team asked in the chat about that he joined late, that where there will be a copy of the webinar to view later. Yes, absolutely. We'll send out a recording of the webinar to you guys. Edward asks, in a large box type of store, in order to count both entering and exiting people counting, should we have two separate cameras? So no, you do not need to do that. If you were to choose to use such a function, just one camera overlooking the door should suffice.
Marvin said, I have CVI installed and cameras, white LED coming on even when turn off happen when it pick up motion. I'm sorry, I do not really understand your sentence. Are you asking about, are you saying that when there's a motion, the LED being turned on accidentally? If you have this kind of problem, you could reach out to our TS and see whether they can solve this problem.
V is asking about a PTZ model that's, I'm assuming PTZ model that supports night color as well as the, and also be able to turn pan, tail, and zoom. And the answer is yes, we actually do have PTZ models that can do this. So if you you can totally reach out to our project team, and that's more of a project-based situation that based on the specific need of that project of yours, we can go ahead and recommend the correct solution for you.
Lawrence said, is there a third stream option on the camera for automation system? Well, our night color camera has substream and mainstream. There's only actually, could you give me a few minutes and I will come back to this question. I need to check the data sheet. Sorry.
Right. David is asking, would it come in the doorbell series? We currently do not have plans of putting night color sensors on the doorbell camera. But if there's any new changes and whatnot, we will definitely send out emails, as well as we'll update on our website as well. Okay, we also have Desmond asking, is a camera 7342 a full night color camera? No, it's not. 7342 is a good solid camera, but it's not a night color. So if you go to our website or our catalog, either it's mentioned color 247, or if it's mentioned the true night color, these cameras will be night color cameras.
Quintum Harris asked a off-topic question. Is there any plan to release solar-powered cameras? I have a client that asked for such camera. Well, temporarily, there's no solar-powered camera in Sapphire product line. If you're having this kind of project, you can reach out to the local sales representative, and we can analyze it case by case and see whether there's another solution for this. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess we'll pass the floor back to Michelle to close this. Yes.
Thank you, Threx and Victor. Thank you for everyone for attending. If your interest was piqued by our webinar, we currently have limited time promotions on our Sapphire Color 247 products. We have the cameras as well as bundles for the cameras and NVR at a great deal. So all of this while the supplies last, you can contact your local sales rep or visit LTS Security inc.com to learn more about it. Again, we will send up send out follow-up emails with a copy of today's webinar and presentations, as well as the gift card winners. And lastly, if you want to attend the same webinar next Friday, we have one for the Pacific Standard Time at 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you again and have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I want to add one thing. I didn't finish the question for I think Edwin or someone asked about whether there's a third stream. The answer is yes. So all the IP night color camera has the third stream. So okay, I finished.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you everyone for joining.